Shalom, Israel.
Have it up.
We're the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Today is Monday, December the 18th. And if you don't know, our Monday class is history class / scriptural breakdown. You in the chat, ask all your questions. We want all your questions. Today we're gonna get into this holiday that everybody is spending all their check. They work the extra hours, 2 jobs. They trying to buy things that they know they can't buy. That's gonna hurt them throughout the whole year. Even though they know they're gonna get hit with a New Year's and a Valentine's Day and an Easter.
Oh, go ahead, keep teaching.
Even though we're gonna get hit. Huh? Even though we're gonna get hit with Easter, buying tickets, you gotta buy the children clothes. They got an event for the AIDS, right? You know you're gonna go to church, so you gotta wear the best dress every Sunday, but especially on Easter. Then you got New Year's, right? You gotta party, you gotta have a big party, you gotta buy all the food. We gonna get hit with all. America rich, we make them stronger. We make their army stronger. We're the reason why is on top. Because the blacks, Hispanics, and First Nations don't know how to separate, right? We don't know how to we don't know how to find righteous leadership and look at the things that are happening around us in our life and say, yo, this oppressor is not for me. He's sucking you dry. So we're gonna get into Christmas. We're gonna get into that tree. We're gonna get into them lights. We're gonna get into the mistletoe. We're gonna get into Santa Claus, the reindeer. All of this has an origin, right? And this origin is not from you, right? Right. So we're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna start from Genesis. Wow. We're going to start it off in Genesis chapter 10, verse 8. Give me 1 minute. Genesis chapter 10, verse 8. Now, and Cush begot Nimrod. He begot to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Most High. And when these records right here is describing Nimrod as a mighty one, first of all, before we even talk about that, if this is in our records, it is a reason why Nimrod is spoke about in our records, right? Whether he played a significant part in the evil or in the righteousness, the Most High said or chose that he should be mentioned in our records. We should know about him. It's something that he's done that we should know about. So again, this is Genesis chapter 10, verse 8. And Cush begot Nimrod. Now, if you're not familiar with the Bible, Noah, the flood happened, and Noah his three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and his wife and their wives. They were all taken. They was taken on Noah's ark. And after the flood had happened, everybody got killed. The Most High unalived everybody, right? Except for them that was on the ark, as well as the animals that Noah was told to do by the Most High. So after this, they started populating throughout. They landed in the land of Canaan, and they started populating throughout the land. So his three sons, they went off and they had a land and they had their wives and they populated. Well, Ham, right? We all know who the Hamite is, and if you don't, the Hamite is the African. You know what I mean, and Ham had a son. He had a bunch of sons, but one of them was named Cush, right? And Cush had a son, and his son was named Nimrod. So Nimrod was Noah's grandson. Salaki. Nimrod was Ham's grandson. I mean, Cush was Nimrod's father. All right. So Genesis chapter 10, verse 8. And Cush, who was Ham's son, begot Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the land. Meaning he was known. He was a guy that was crushing. He was running around destroying. He was conquering, right? Verse 9. So come.
Verse 9. And he was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
And a mighty hunter before the Lord. When it says a hunter, it means he was an unaliver. You know what I mean? Meaning he was a mighty unaliver. Meaning he unalived a lot of people. He slaughtered a lot. Right? Continue.
Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. He did a lot of unaliving. He was a conqueror. Verse 10.
10. Genesis 10 and 10. At the beginning of his kingdom was Babel.
And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel. And we probably heard stories about Babel. And if you haven't, Babel was a place where come. I got it. Come. Babel, we know about Babel building a tower, right? Babel, the people in Babel came together and they wanted to build a tower to the Most High, because they wanted to challenge the Most High. They wanted to go to war. They wanted to go to war with the Most High. They wanted their names to be great in the world before they got eliminated, right? And we're gonna get some more into that. But in verse 9, I'm gonna go back to verse 9. It said, and then the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, was Iraq, and was Akkad, and Kalana, in the land of Shania. You know what I'm saying? Out of that land went forth Ashur. And it's going into these many kingdoms, all started somehow from Nimrod ruling the land. He was a great conqueror. He was going around and he was slaughtering, and he was unaliving, he was taking. He was a mighty one, and everybody knew him, and he was great, right? And all of these kingdoms that was speaking about, all these cities, they were built from his work, from his conquering. And the Bible also says that he was a man against God, meaning he did not believe what his great grandfather Noah believed, because Noah was a man. The Most High called Noah perfect, right? And that happens like that, you know. It happens to us even now. Some of us, it's vice versa. Some of us, it's in the truth. We are following the Most High, but our parents wasn't, right? But we're gonna get some more into this in Nimrod and how he was a conqueror in all of these cities that he built. And he's going around conquering, building all of these cities, and he's a man of against the Most High. So now he's giving these cities other false religions. And it also in some sources that you read, it would say that Nimrod worshiped the sun, right? And that was his. If you think about all these cities he built and all these lands he's conquering, he's teaching them this religion. And this is why he's a man of the Most High, because he's not he was a man against the Most High, because he wasn't teaching these people in these cities that he was reigning over to follow the Most High, to do as his great grandfather Noah did. And we're gonna get some more into it. We're gonna get into chapter 11, verse 1, because chapter 11, verse 1 gets a little bit more, it gives you more of a picture of Babel and that tower that they built, and get a little bit more specific on who they was going up against and how they was doing it. So we're going to get into Genesis 11, verse 1. Now, we already talked about Nimrod, right? And it has to be a reason that Nimrod was even spoken about in this book, right? And the Christian church, they give you the basics of what can make you feel good. Because when you come into the church, it's a systematic plot to hypnotize you, to get you comfortable. Shalom, y'all. To get you comfortable, have your butt not. They got the nice cushions in the church. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got the big TVs. They got the shiny, the shiny ornaments all around. That's spray painted gold, right? They talk about love, loving everybody, accepting everybody, right? Because they want you to feel good. The Christian church knows that you go out through life and you deal with a lot of BS. You know what I mean? With work, with friends. Could I say that? BS? I was going to. No, BS. They know you got to deal with a lot, right? And then not to forget, we forget that we are still in slavery, that you are still oppressed, right? We see it on TV, but we so preoccupied with working, taking care of the children, working take up so much out of your day. Getting your rest, you want to do what you want to do. You want to make your children happy. That we don't realize that we are oppressed, that we are the weakest link out of the Chinese, the Arab. We are the weakest link. You know what I mean? We don't own nothing. And if you go inside, if you ever find out, right, where all the Asian people live, you go in the community, you won't see no black-owned stores, you won't see no soul food stores like you see stores in our community. You are oppressed. I mean, they get tax cuts, they get Salaki, what's it called when they give you the for the housing? Housing grants, what the females always get, Section 8. They get Section 8, and they get way more than you. They get food stamps, and they get way more than you, and that's a fact, right? So when we go into the Christian church, a lot of our people be looking for a place of escape. They be looking for a sense of hope, right? So the Christian pastor, they don't really talk about this, right? And another thing I want to get into before we get to Bible is when you find out that these churches, they run from an organization, right? You got the SBC, which is the Southern Baptist Convention, where they ditch out. It's like the school board. The school board gives you a regimen of what the school is going to teach and how and what they're not going to teach. Well, churches got the same thing, right? Whatever denomination that it falls under, whether it's Baptist or Catholic, they have an organization that is over top of them that dictates to them what they're going to teach. And that's crazy because when I was in the world, I never knew that. Come. And I never knew that when I was in the world. You know, in the world, when I go to church as a child with my mom, I used to think that the pastor, Started off small, and then his congregation got, this was his church. I thought it was supposed to go down to, I don't know, maybe his son or some, or the deacons, right? Because you got deacons and evangelists in the church. I think that's what they being trained for, to take over. Well, really, these churches don't operate on their own. They pay somebody. That's why they be on your back about paying tithes. About 3 times in one sermon, you kicking out tithes. Your grandma kicking out tithes. You know what I'm saying? So I say that just to say these churches don't operate on their own. They have an organization that's over top of them that tells them what to teach about and what not to teach about. If you recently looked in the news, we talked about the SBC. Was it the SBC where they are bringing in the LGBT preachers, right? And a certain amount of churches didn't agree with it, so it split. So now you got a couple certain churches over here that's going to have LGBT preachers and pastors, and then some over here that's split, that's trying to keep the tradition of Christianity, which is both demonic, right, and of the devil. But we're going to get some more into Nimrod and the beginning of him, because it's a lot that's going to come out. We're going to get into Genesis 11:1. And this is going to talk about that he's the king of these cities that he's built. He's setting the basis for these cities that he's building, these people that he's conquering. He's giving them a religion. He's giving them a whole mindset. He's giving them a whole philosophy and everything. And then and when we gonna get into it, is the Tower of Babel tell you what kind of king he was. You know what I'm saying? Because the people was doing exactly following after their king, their leader. So in Genesis chapter 11, you can start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. And the whole world was of one language.
And the whole world was of one language. Everybody spoke the same. Everybody spoke Hebrew. You know what I mean? That was the language that everybody wrote. And let me tell you something. When we speaking of this, we're speaking from the Bible being the basis for the records. You know what I'm saying? So continue.
And of one speech.
And of one speech.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, that they dwelt there.
Continue.
And they said one to another, "Go, let us make brick, and burn them through."
So they saying let us make brick and burn them through. They used to make brick and they would burn it. It would make it, and it would get hardened, right? So he's saying, let's build, right? Let's make brick and let's build. Continue.
And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar.
They had the slime for mortar to make the brick stick together. Go ahead.
And he said, "Go." And he said, "Go to let us build us a city and a town whose top
and a tower
whose top may reach unto heaven."
To reach unto heaven. So they saying, let's build a city, right? And let's build a tower and let the top reach the heaven, right? And this is behind the orders of Nimrod, because in the scripture before in verse 10, it tells you that he was a mighty unaliver in the land, and he built Babel. So this is him building the city right here. And this is him telling the people, let's build a city, let's build a tower so we can reach it to heaven. Continue.
And they said, "Let us make a name."
And they wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to fight. They wanted to go to heaven to fight the Most High, right? And this is how evil people can get, if you just let them do them. If you let them do them, They'll let pedophilia and the LGBT community just run wild, right? They'll put it inside the schools no matter what age. That is why these scriptures gave us laws. The Most High gave us laws because the people need somebody to tell them what to do. They need to show them how to be righteous. That was the whole point of Israel getting these records so we can give it to the whole world. So things like this wouldn't happen. You can continue.
Lest we be scattered above upon the whole face of the earth.
Lest we be scattered abroad upon the whole face of the earth. So they wanted their carnal reputation. You know, they wanted to be bigger than the Most High. They wanted to leave a mark in the earth, right? And that's how so many of these wicked kingdoms that came from the oppressor, like Rome. Rome is a place where they wanted to leave their mark. They wanted the world to look at Rome and to say that Rome created the whole world, right? But they even had their fall, and every city has every evil city in this oppressor has their fall. You can continue.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the towers, which the children of men built.
And the Most High came. He said, let me see what they doing. You know what I'm saying? This is a small thing to the Most High, right? This is a small, very small thing to the Most High. It's like when you see your children, you know your children, you see your children over there, you might have a camera somewhere, or you might just be watching TV and children think that you're not watching. And they trying to, like, you know, help each other get in the cabinet to steal some cookies. So you peep them talking, having a little plan, and you just watching them. You watching TV or you doing what you doing and you peeping them. You like, look, I already know what they gonna try to do. Look, I'm gonna just watch them. You go over there, they don't know you looking, and you standing in the doorway while they in the kitchen. The brother standing on the other brother's shoulders, trying to get in the cabinet to get some cookies. That's how the Most Highs came down there and looked. Like, look, let me see. Go ahead, continue.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them.
Because their minds are so evil. They got one language. They can all communicate, right? And then they working together diligently to come up to fight the Most High. So the Most High, he with his angels, and he looking at him. He's saying, you know what? If I let this continue, these people, you know, they're gonna do some things that I don't want them to do. So what did he do? Continue.
Which they have no imagine to do.
Come on, continue.
Go to the like, go to and let us go down there. Go down in there. Confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
So that's what he did. He seen it. It was a small thing. He said, he was talking to the angel. He said, look, go to, let us go down there and let us confound their language, right? So he just separated their language. But I just wanted to get into that because I'm giving you history on Nimrod. He's spoken about in his Bible for a reason, right? And now under Nimrod's authority, he had all the people coming together trying to go fight the Most High. That's how prideful, you know what I'm saying, Nimrod was. And a lot of times that's how, and when you look in the world, that's how prideful the oppressor is. The oppressor is so prideful that he's trying to clone things. He's trying to make the same thing, huh? He's trying to make people, right? He's trying to go to the stars and to the moon. He got an army. He got a space army, right? He wants to fight. He is exactly like Babel. He's exactly like Babylon. And in the scriptures and Revelations, so like we're going to get to them. In the scriptures and Revelations, that's why America is referred as the daughter of Babylon, because they do the same thing that they're doing. And if you get into these records, and the pastor ain't going to never come out to this. He's not going to bring this out because he wants to focus on you feeling good. He don't want you focusing on the things that are to come in the Revelations. He don't want you piecing together the pieces because he don't want you living in a fear. That would actually make his job worse. That would make his job harder because now he got to feed you. Now he got to house you. Now he got to close you. That's money coming. That money that's coming in is going straight out. That's why you don't see them doing that much. All of the churches in Baltimore City that we always say and over East Baltimore could come together and could buy East Baltimore. They could feed East Baltimore. They could have all of the counseling for all of the black families in East Baltimore. They could change East Baltimore schools. They could give all of these young men, these black, Hispanic, and First Nation young men that's out there that think that they have to sell drugs is their only option to get ahead. They could change that, but they don't. And it's about time we understand it. And it's getting there, right? And that was about Nimrod and about the place he is. And we're going to get into Nimrod. All right, more about Nimrod. All right, so Nimrod is in Babel, right? So Nimrod, I forgot to bring my book. It's called the Fall of Babel, the yellow one. That's what it's called, right? The Fall of Babel, the yellow book. It talks about Babylon from I think Babel from Babylon 10 part 2. Khan. Yeah. I was trying to look for that shit up there. But basically, Nimrod and his mother, right, had a relationship, right? She was a wife and a mother, right? Which is disgusting. I mean, that's just what the oppressor do. They do all the things, lowly things, you know what I'm saying? So Nimrod and his mother, they had a relationship, right? And it was more of a lustful relationship. Her name was Ishtar. She had many names because some sources say that a lot of the names, they preferred her as the goddess of fertility, right? Because of her lustful desire. They also call her Venus, right? That's where that comes from. And Ishtar, they call her some other names. But anyway, Nimrod went to war, and he died when he went to war. And when he died, his mother was already impregnated by somebody else, but she told the people that the spirit of Nimrod had impregnated her, and that the spirit of Nimrod went into a tree stump, a dead tree stump. Said it went into a dead tree stump and that it turned into an evergreen tree overnight. That's why you get the Christmas tree, you know what I'm saying, that stays green all year round. So she told the people that, and they had a son named Tammuz, 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 right? And a source with him too, a lot of sources will say that Easter, this god Ishtar, the mother, the goddess of fertility, that kind of refers to her. And Tammuz, the son, is that little angel with wings for Valentine's Day. Yeah, is that comes off of him. So basically, this Nimrod and Babylon is basically the creation of some of these biggest holidays that we have, right? That we be thinking is just made up. You know what I mean? And another thing is our pastors, man, they study these Bibles every day. We pay that when we was in the world, our grandmothers and our mothers, they pay them not to work, to just be a pastor. So they can sit around all day and they supposed to be studying this Bible, right? But instead they do it for their own greed. And you can tell they don't study his Bible because we're going to get into Jeremiah 10:2-4. What clearly talks about Christmas, right? Clearly talk about Christmas. And if you don't think they talking about Christmas, then you just don't want to admit it. You just love giving out presents. You one of them, I want to feel good. I want to have my children feel good. You a coward.
Right.
Basically. You a coward. You not strong enough to go to your children and to deal with them saying, well, ma, I want to do this. Why not? You can't answer those questions. You know what I mean? You a coward. You can't go to your parents and be strong enough to say, look, I know this is what we did when we were younger, but this is the tradition that I am starting for my legacy. You know what I mean? I want to be in the truth. I want to be true to the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to follow His word by word. I want to be perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though they're gonna tell you can't be perfect. You know what I mean? That's they go-to. You cannot be perfect because they are not perfect.
Right.
Because they don't want to be. They want to eat pork. They want to smoke. Right? So they in their mind, they phantom up this thing like, well, I can't be perfect. You know what I mean? I can't. Who is perfect? I never seen nobody that was perfect. Well, you read these records, you got this record sitting on your nightstand and in your bedroom every day. And you read about a perfect man, Abraham, Noah. It's a couple of perfect men in here. Job. And they tell you they reading this. This is their religion. This is where they make you get up every morning and put on that suit and tie and them shoes that hurt. You know what I mean? They cook, they slave, they do all of this. They tell his boss, I can't get no money today. I gotta go to church. But they can't do what they're telling you to do. They can't do all of it. So basically they telling you gonna sin. Don't sin, but you gonna sin. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the Most High is destroying the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? As we speak. We're gonna get some more into it. Give me Jeremiah 10:2.
Book of Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Learn not the way of the heathen. How you know who the heathen is? Because he's not doing what the Most High is telling is in these records is telling everybody to do. You can look around you and see who the heathen is in this world. The oppressor is the heathen, and anybody who follow his ways. Right. Homosexual, LGBT is other heathen. Right? So continue read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed by the signs of heaven. That has something to do. Go ahead, continue. That has something that I'm gonna bring up later. Go ahead, continue.
For the heathens are dismayed at them.
For the heathens are dismayed at the signs of the heaven. And that's something else that came from the Babylonian kingdom, right? Them zodiac signs, right? Them zodiac signs, the Babylonians put the sky into a chart and they named each area in the sky. That's how you got Gemini, Aquarius. They created that. Like Nimrod is one of the creators of a lot of religions. They come from Babylon. And that's why Babylon is talked about in the Bible so heavily, right? And that's the reason why I wanted to start off with telling you it's a reason why he's in this book. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
Verse 3.
Real quick, to be clear, the heathen are the other nations. And when the Lord described us as heathens, it's because we was following the other nations.
Did I say different? The heathens is these other nations, right? Because of all of these gods that they follow. You know what I mean? And all of these rituals that they put together. You know what I mean? And that's what we talking about with Babylon. Continue.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the works of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Verse 4.
Right. So he say the hands of the heathen cut down the tree. Right. So who is he talking about? Because who even started the Ishtar, which is Nimrod's lover / mother? She's the one who said that you got to go cut this tree down. Salaki, I didn't even get into that, and I missed that part when I was talking about the religion of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Ishtar told them in a town that they had to cut down this tree and they had to erect it up in the name of Nimrod, right? on his birthday, which is December 25th, they had to present this tree. They had to present her with presents on Nimrod's birthday. And she also told him that Nimrod's spirit went back to visit that evergreen tree that was once a dead tree stump. He went back to visit that and would give, and that's why you got to revisit the evergreen tree and present presents. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this is true or not, sir, but I did read in a source that the Christmas balls on the tree, that the source said that the Christmas balls symbolize if they didn't present presents to Ishtar, that she would chop their head off and hang it on the tree. Come on.
Symbolize the head that she was cutting off.
Come. If you didn't bring her a present in the name of Nimrod and present it to her, she would chop your head off and hang it on the tree. So everybody else that's seen the heads of the people, the poor people, or anybody who didn't present a present, she would see that, and that would put fear in you, you know, to do your job of bringing that present to Ishtar. But continue. Can you read back 2 scriptures up?
We'll go back to 2 or 3, sir.
Oh, you can go to 3.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman.
The hands of the workman, Salaki. Now he's telling you that these are the customs of the heathen or vain. All of their beliefs, traditions, rituals is vain. Vain means nothing. They just doing it. You wasting time.
Right.
You wasting energy. You just doing it. It's nothing.
It's not of the Most High.
And it's not of the Most High. And if it ain't of the Most High, you just doing it. You doing it for your own, and it's nothing. Go ahead, continue.
The work of the hand of the workman with the axe. Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and gold. It can't get no more realer than that. It can't get no more explainable than that. What else tree do you decorate with silver and gold? Right? What else do you put the little the stupid plastic all around and get all over the house?
Right.
They get in everything that you got to clean up. That it's probably flammable. I don't know. Most likely it is, because at most 50% people somebody's house gonna burn down every year. So continue.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers.
The same thing how you do with your tree when you put it inside that green and yellow stand. You gotta screw the nails in. You know what I mean? Continue.
That it move not. Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
They are upright as a palm tree. They walk around like they good, like they are upright. Like when you go to church and the lady that's with the big hat, the elder lady with all the candy, she has done nothing wrong. She gonna tell you about how you should pull your pants up, how you should pronounce your words, how you should not be out there doing what you doing, how the spirit is telling her about you. She is upright, but her words is what?
But speak not.
But they speak not. You should like continue. But you said speak not. Go ahead.
They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Neither also they cannot do evil. Don't fear them. Don't worry about them. They can't do evil, and they can't do good either. And that goes back to saying that although their customs and their traditions are vain, it's nothing. It means nothing to the Most High, because it means nothing at all because it's not of the Most High. I mean, when you read that scripture, I don't know how we could go years in the Christian church, and I never read that scripture until I got into the truth. I never heard about it. I never read it until I got into the truth. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you know that the Christian church is not what they say they are. They're not representing the Bible. They're representing that government, that SBC, right? Or that church council that they gotta answer to when they whatever they're told to teach about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not just that, we got more. You know what I'm saying? He gives you more every time he refers to somebody worshiping something inside the church. Every time every time in the Bible he refers to somebody worshiping an idol, he talks about that tree, that ritual. He speaks about that ritual. You know what I'm saying? Putting something in a high place, putting it on a mountain, on a hill, putting it above the Most High, or putting it under that tree. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the first, you know what I mean, worship of idolism, you know what I'm saying, that you could find in a book that the Most High keeps referring back to every time he talks about anybody worshiping something that is not him. You know what I'm saying? We can go to Jeremiah, Isaiah 57 and 5. Give me Isaiah 57 and 5. And then after that, you can hold that when you fit Isaiah 57 and 5, and then you could go to 1 Kings 14 and 22. And with Nimrod too, the whole depiction of like an immaculate birth, you know what I'm saying, as far as though in Babylon, Babylon, Ishtar told them that the spirit of Nimrod impregnated her. And that's the same thing they try to push on. Come. That's the same thing they try to push on Mary. You always see that in Thor. You see that in with Thor and Hercules. You see that with the Egyptian mythical stories. You see it. They try to push it on Mary and Joseph. You always see that immaculate birth somehow from a god, their son, to a woman, and an immaculate impregnation of somehow. In all of these beliefs and mythical beliefs that have popped up since then, all of these ancient mythical beliefs have a same play, right? About a man, somebody being God, somebody coming down to earth, a man being sent down from some high up form to earth in an immaculate form, right? And you see him in multiple different pagan historical, you see that pattern in multiple pagan mythical historical religions and rituals. It's the same thing. And I could say from some sources that I was reading when I was getting from this, that from the split of different languages with the same story of Nimrod, but the split of different languages, you're going to get a different name. You know what I mean? But you're going to get that same pattern of the same story that's happening with a different name, right? You got that? I'm a con.
Book of Isaiah chapter 57 and 5. Inflaming yourselves with idols under every green tree.
Under every green tree. Inflaming yourself with idols. Idols is something that you know that's not of the Most High that you're worshiping, right? Like how when the Most High got Moses and he freed us out of Egypt, right? And they doubted the Most High in the wilderness, and they went and built a golden calf. That was an idol. They wanted to praise the golden calf to take it out for bringing them out of Egypt, right? But it always goes back to, he always prefers to some type of, when he talks about idol worshiping, he always refers back to that tree or them putting something up high, right? Because Nimrod and that religion, that ritual, that was one of the first ones, and you know that just has that, it falls under that umbrella. Continue.
Slaying the children in the valleys under the cliffs of the rock.
And that's another worship of an idol. He always refers to that. These beginning of worshiping other idols. This Nimrod being spirit going in the tree. He say under the tree in the scripture. You know what I mean? You can't get no more. You can't get no more realer than this. You know what I mean? You hear this right here. This should have you asking questions to your pastor. This should have an uproar. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You could drop that and give me the First Kings chapter 14 and 22.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, add up. What you were saying is so right about everything. About everything going back, leading back to Africa. That's what a lot of them blackly black groups like to say. They try to tie the story of the fairy tale of the virgin birth. They try to see I was copying off from Africa or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Meaning not knowing it's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
It is a lie.
Exactly.
We not copying off of Africa. They made that up. The Christians want to copy
The Protestants and the Roman Catholic Church.
The Protestants and all of them want to continue that tradition. You know what I mean? They trying to continue Babylon. They want to continue what they did. They want to continue anything that has to do with Babylon, Rome, and Egypt, traditions, rituals, customs, all that. You know what I mean? They said that. So like, I'm not gonna get into that because that's that is like conspiracy theory, but I ain't gonna get into that. You got that though? First Kings 14 and 22.
First Kings chapter 14 and verse 22.
Come on.
And Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord. And they provoked him to jealousy with their sins, which they had committed, above all that their fathers had done.
Hey, real quick, Uncle Raw wanted to say something about the Masons. The Masons, they did love Africa. They loved us. Them Greeks and them Romans, they loved Africa. They loved Egypt. They modeled a lot of these cities and their architecture behind Egyptians.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's fact. That's not a conspiracy.
Not
only they constructions or what have you, and they make masonry work, but their religions. That's why it's so incorporated in Greek mythology and Roman Catholicism. That's not a conspiracy. That's, you can just see it, you know, the writings on the wall. Yeah, that's not a conspiracy.
And they follow after these customs, man. And it's like, dang, that's why the truth is so like, you know, people wonder why we in here. We in here because this is real. You know what I'm saying? The pieces come together when you just put forth a little bit of effort to just learn something instead of sitting in a chair, listening to a pastor tell you everything about how he feels. Right. And not giving you no scripture. I just watched a video on TD Jakes. Come.
That was a question. No, go ahead, finish though.
Come. I watched a video on TD Jakes. I seen him standing in front of a tree, right? Well, Christmas tree with the red robe on and all that. So I clicked on the video and I was watching it. And I'm watching him talk about I lost my train of thought. You said something that TD Jakes. Yeah. But anyway, I was going to talk about something. But TD Jakes and these groups that he spoke about, these Illuminati groups and all of that stuff they talk about, that's the same umbrella that these churches act like under these. Yeah, this one right here. I watched that little speaking that he had about it, right? Sloggy, that's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking that he's gonna talk about Christmas and he's gonna relate it to the Bible, right? So I was watching it because, you know, I wanted to see what he was gonna say. I wanted to see, because I know he was gonna say something dumb, make something up or whatever. He didn't say no scripture the whole time. I'm talking about the whole video. He didn't say one. Like usually they say one in the beginning. They start off with one scripture and then the rest they tell you about how they feel. He didn't say nothing. He just talked about how he feel. And you know, he just go ahead, brother. They ain't gotta know. And it was crazy. He was just changing the tone.
It's a motivational speaker.
Listen, he was trying to make you feel some type. You could tell because he was talking low like you. And then you get high on the one parts or whatever. I'm talking about it was a theatric. It was really like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they be tricking. It's how they be tricking our parents. You know what I mean? They trick them through their pain. You know what I mean? Through hope, and they lock them in mentally. They mentally enslave them. You know what I mean? To search for something that they are never going to get. Like riding a horse or a donkey. You see them pictures of somebody riding a horse or a donkey with a carrot on a stick in front of him. And that donkey just walking, thinking he going to get that carrot. And he might get it. You know what I'm saying? Usually they give it to him. But here, in this sense, you'll never get nothing. You'll get something. You'll get judgment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll get a nice, you get a treat, a well-deserved treat. But we was done with that. First Kings and chapter 14. I was just giving y'all like it's numerous. I got down here like 5 different other scriptures where he talks about idol worshiping, and he makes a direct compare. The way that he talks about idol worshiping is by saying under the tree, worshiping under the tree. You know what I mean? Sending up smoke, right? Or incense, or worshiping, putting something on a high place. And I just want to show that relation with that tree. You know what I'm saying? That is a big, that's a factor that we need to, when we study in this word and we asking these, when our brothers out there in the world that are watching, when you go to church, finally with your mom, or you decide you want to go, or the next time you go, you want to bring this up. You know, you want to write these scriptures down and you want to bring it up. You know, you can't ask it in a sermon. Hey, ask them after it. Make them prove it. Because it's about time that that something happened. I mean, I'm tired of seeing people that look like me get murdered.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By the police, or, you know, serve their time in the military, and then 5 years later, they look like they never been around the world. You know what I mean? Like they've never seen nothing but this block. Like it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? But come on.
So now you have a precept to Ashtar making people cut down trees and remembrance to Nimrod.
Come on. I don't precept in this Bible to Ashtar making people cut down trees. No, it's not a precept in the Bible, right? Ishtar is history. You know what I mean? Nimrod is history. It's really history. You could go and you could look it up and you could read about it. It really was a city. It really was a place. Nimrod really was a king. You know what I mean? Like, we know that Alexander the Great, right? He had something to do with the children of Israel. He had something to do with conquering, leading the army to go run inside Jerusalem. Not run inside Jerusalem, to conquering the Israelites, right? But he's not spoken about in these records. You know what I mean? But is Alexander the Great really a person? Yes. Alexander the Great really existed. He's really real. He's history. You go look it up. History has a direct play with the Bible. You know what I mean? They try to throw stuff in there to mix you up. You got all these mythical stories. You got all these add-ons. They try to throw stuff in there to lie to you. Come on, give me 1 second. They try to whitewash Christ. You know what I mean? But just how we know Alexander the Great is real in his history, come.
Alexander is in the Apocrypha.
He's in the Apocrypha.
Okay.
Come, it's a lot.
But I know what the point is.
Yeah, the point I'm making, is that I'm just trying to make a point that history, if you read the Bible, you're gonna find a love for history. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to get into history. The Bible is history. It's records. They go along and make one piece. What was you saying back there? Come on. Oh, you was gonna tell me that he's in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, I was gonna say King Cyrus too.
King Cyrus too?
Yeah, first.
Come. There's no precept in this book But when you get into this book and you start breaking down stuff and you see the lands that Israel moved to, right? You see the people that the kings that reign, right? A lot of important people. That's a lot of not important, prolific people that are in this book, right? You're going to see them in history, right? You can't
Can I add real
come
quick?
with come.
You're gonna see them in history, but you might see in the Bible that land mentioned in a particular prophecies about that land or that time. You understand? But it's not going to say specifically the ruler at that time in certain cases.
Come with come.
But to answer the question, but you can see around you every year we chopping down trees unknowingly in remembrance of Nimrod. You understand?
Come with come.
Unknowingly, you know what I'm saying? We unknowingly worshiping the fertility goddess every April. You understand? We unknowingly following worshiping Chronos, the so-called father of time, every January the 1st. You understand? Unknowingly, you know what I'm saying? But is there necessarily a direct precept? Hey, follow not the heathen. You understand?
Come with come.
Yeah, something real quick.
No, so that's what chronovision came from.
Huh?
That's what chronovision came from.
Chronovision?
Yeah,
Is it synonymous with time?
yeah, that's a synonymous with chrono.
Yeah, anything it's a phobia called chronometrophobia.
That's what it is.
Chronometrophobia. As a matter of fact, it's a song by Outkast. But if you look up the words, it's talking about you being afraid of time. That's what the word comes from. The Greek, which really comes from something African that they took from Egypt or whatever. But that's what it comes
Come with come.
from. I mean, not to take us away. I mean,
Come with come. So it's a lot of things that add to Christmas that are just vain, like the mistletoe, right? And we see that. I've been to church and seen a mistletoe in the church. You know what I mean? And when I'm younger, questions fly past your mind. You don't really stick to them too much because you're probably young, you're moving around. You know what I mean? I went to church. I learned the books of the Bible, but I think that was it. I think I just was going there because it was girls there for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I was going there because it was girls there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But the mistletoe in there, and we want to get into that. I want to get you the history of the mistletoe. I want to get the history of reindeers. And I got a source right here from Wikipedia, a couple of them, but this one, this source right here was similar to all the other ones that I read. So it says, ritual of the oak and mistletoe. The ritual of the oak and mistletoe is a Celtic religious ceremony in which white-clad Druids climb a sacred oak, cut down the mistletoe growing on it, and sacrifice 2 white bulls, and use the mistletoe to make an elixir to cure infertility and the effects of poison. The ritual, known for a single passage of Pinky's natural history, is help shape. All right, cool. So this ritual of the mistletoe, they took this mistletoe of a ritual where they think it had if you couldn't have a baby, it would help you have a baby. It would heal you from poison. And they also used to sacrifice it to the oak, right? This the oak ritual. And the oak ritual came from Zeus. When they sacrificed, they also used to sacrifice people to this right here too. So this oak ritual came about from Zeus. I'm gonna read you that source. It says the most noticeable of the oak ritual was Zeus. The king god was associated with a mighty oak tree whose enduring qualities of strength and honor still remains today. You know what I mean? A lot of these religions, a lot of these things that we think is small, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the mistletoe. That's why you kiss under the mistletoe, because they associate it with fertility. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things that we do that we think is small, it makes us happy in a moment. Why? Because Israel, we followers in this world. We are followers. At the same time, we leaders, but we followers at the same time. We can make a whole culture of music that dominates every other music genre, and then we still following. You know what I mean? We could put on anything and go out, and our swag will make all of the heathens follow us, but at the same time, we're following what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? We trying to be like them. You know what I mean? And it takes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like, this book is so powerful that this book, when you reading it, it starts making you question everything that you usually do. It starts making you question the mistletoe. So now you want to find out where it came from. And then you find out where it came from. It's like, this is a worship of a god, Zeus, a character on TV. You know what I'm saying? A Greek mythology. You know what I'm saying? A Greek mythology character on TV. All of that movies. These the same. And I know y'all have seen I don't know what they call, but you see the Edomites with the Thor hammer. No. It's really a group. It's a group of Edomites. It's like if you ever been incarcerated, they have a religious, you can sign up for a religious thing. They got a religious people. You got some Edomite big boys, and they wear the Thor hammer on, right? And they really go and they worship him somewhere in the library. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what you was gonna say, brother? I forgot the name of it too, but I used to see it. There's only Edomites in there, and they don't do nothing in there, but they go in there and just smoke. Edomites is the oppressor, the conquistador. You know what I mean, but anyway, this is where this come from. You know what I mean, and we follow after it. We follow after it vainly. You know what I'm saying? With an open heart, accepting all of it, with a smile on our face, thinking. And then thinking that the Most High is gonna come help you. You know what I'm saying? You get on your knees at nighttime and you pray. You pray tears. You hear me? Till your knees ache. When you wake and you get up on your feet, and then you go downstairs and you send up smoke, right? You go and do idolatry under a tree. You know what I'm saying? And put an angel on the top of the tree. Put it up high. You know what I'm saying? Until you get into this truth and you find out that a lot of these things that we worshiping is that a lot of these holidays that we like to celebrate, we are worshiping other gods, right? And in the scripture, go ahead. Before y'all let you go ahead, and in the scripture, over and over, the Most High tells you how he feels about you worshiping other gods, but you just don't know. Now that Israel needs to break out of this mental slavery, you know what I'm saying, of wanting to please our lust. Salaki, our mental slavery to want to please our lust so we can get to find out the truth. Go ahead.
It's called a statue.
Say it again.
It's called a statue.
This,
A statue.
what is?
That's the name of the gang.
The Satru?
Yeah, they worship Odin and all that.
Yeah, they worship Odin. Khan, the water, sir. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do. We need to open Israel. We need to get out of this concept of follow our lust so we can get the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because all you doing is getting played. You know what I'm saying? Your pockets is going thin. You know what I'm saying? You losing money. You can't never get ahead. You know what I'm saying? You got birthdays to hit. Right after another, depending on how many children you got, your mom's birthday, your birthday, you want to do stuff, your children's birthday, you know what I mean? Then you got the holidays. It's like you pleasing everybody, except for the Most High, you making America, you making the oppressor rich. You know what I'm saying? While you stay broke and down. And then you ask why, brothers go out there and hit the corner. Because you teach them to celebrate every holiday every year. That's why they hitting the corner. They don't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough we on the bottom toe. Is bro, you can't get work like that. You know what I'm saying? Most of the brothers out here done been locked up, whether they did it or didn't do it. You know what I mean? So you at the bottom. We gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? With just a little bit of, indulging and trying to seek out the truth. Yeah. We give me Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 12, right? Because even though we do all of this, we can stop. Even though we doing all this, there is no you fell too far down, right? You did too much. You know what I'm saying? I unalive so many people. I've been divorced, married. No. If you can get back to following these laws, you know what I'm saying? One of the major points that will get us back under the favor of the Most High, right? Brotherhood, sisterhood will bring forth all of this new truth, this knowledge, this new truth that you never knew about in the world, right? Because you're gonna be around brothers, we sisters who know more, who study more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna indulge in, you're gonna want to be like the brothers that you around. You're gonna feel that spirit that they have on them. You're gonna get that spirit. It's gonna get built up in you. You know what I'm saying? But first you just gotta come in here. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we agree with a lot of the things that you out in the world, you agree with a lot of the things that you hear us saying. But it's something in you, right? It's something in you that's stopping you from just coming in. And it's the same thing that is stopping you from celebrating Christmas. You got to beat that demon of cowardness. You know what I mean? Beat that demon. You know what I'm saying? Don't let family, don't let friends make you feel bad to keep doing things that don't make sense. Anybody got that? Come on.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel.
About backsliding Israel. You know what I'm saying? Return. The Most High is calling you back. You know what I mean? He's telling you return. Like sometimes, it's been sometimes as me being a youth, right? My mother wanted me to do certain things and I didn't agree with her. And I think I could do it myself. I'll leave. You know what I'm saying? Even though she mad at me, right? And she might have told me to leave. At some point in time, she has an understanding that, this is my child. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach him the best. She also extends that not have an understanding, but she always extends that offer. Like, listen, all you gotta do is do what I say. You come back. That's the same way the Most High is saying, come back. Follow these. It's gonna save you. It's gonna save your pockets. It's gonna save your children. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have you having that eventually having that transportation that you wanted, or that new place that you wanted. It really makes your life better. Separating from these oppressors' holidays. You know what I'm saying? And we come out here and we salaki. The ISUPK brings out this truth and these holidays to sway you, to give you something to think about, to give you truth, to start you off with small pieces like, what is this? Where does this come from? You don't see these other nations having a issue, you know what I'm saying, celebrating these holidays. You only see us having an issue with keeping up with these holidays. You know what I'm saying? That's a curse. You know what I'm saying? I don't see as many Asian people. Can I say that? Come. I can name other nations. Come. I don't see Asian people, white people having such an issue with keeping up with these other holidays. You know what I mean? They always got something that they selling, right? I just seen a dude selling Caesar Borgia with a birthday hat on a shirt, with a birthday hat on, saying December 25th. You know what I mean? He's making millions of dollars off of that. And I guarantee you that it's our people that's buying all of this. You know what I'm saying? That's thinking that these things, these vain things, is gonna make us feel good. My bad, but I get off. Can you start from the beginning with that?
Yeah. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, and verse 12. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, Return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord. And I will not cause my anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith the Lord. And I will not keep anger forever.
He will not keep anger forever. And that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing that you be able to, that when you get in this truth and you get the piecing together pieces, you get to think like, all right, I did some wrong things, I can get back. You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High anger doesn't last forever. You know what I'm saying? Come.
Every scripture, though, the Most High used the word backslide.
Come.
Traitor. God behind his definition. How can you be a Christian? Christian church. Saying you love God and you serve him. If you hear God say these words and you don't apply it to yourself, then you break the law.
Come.
So these holidays are something God never did.
Come. So come, because they say, and that's another thing, they say that things have changed. You know what I'm saying? And if things have changed, you wouldn't be backslide. You know what I mean? Yeah, you wouldn't be a traitor if things change. Right. For you to be a traitor, things got to be the same before and after, and you traded on what is the original program. You know what I'm saying? What is the original position of the Most High? You went against it. You know what I mean? If things change, you wouldn't be a backslide. Slightly, I want to get something else. I meant to get this earlier. Can you give me Jeremiah 10 and 2? Slightly. Not Jeremiah 10 and 2. It is. Give me 1 second. In a second, it's a scripture. I got a bunch up here. It's a scripture where he's talking about don't add to or take from. Come on, and Jeremiah putting up a tree. But Christmas is one of the biggest holidays of the year. You know what I'm saying? How around this time of the year for Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nations, how angry do you think the Most High is around Christmas time? You know what I mean? Like, and for everybody house not to burst up in flames. Like, how merciful do you think the Most High is? You know what I mean? For him not to just be like, I'm gonna show him something. I'm gonna just poof. You know what I'm saying? This whole city right here. You know what I mean? Like, that's a merciful, you know what I'm saying? Most High. That's a merciful God, bro. Because the Most High understands the bondage that we are in. You know what I'm saying? And ISUPK is sent here to bring out this truth to you, to spark a thought in your mind, if not immediately bring you in here. You know what I'm saying? So you can start questioning everything. You know what I mean? Start questioning. Well, I want to get into these reindeers. So why? We got time? I think it's 8:46. We do. Yeah, I'm saying start questioning these reindeers and start questioning even Santa. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into it. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 4:2. You should not add unto the word, whatever, right?
Come. Yep.
Right. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you.
Don't add it to the word that he command you. Meaning, when people say, when you ask somebody, you know, some of my family members, I tell them, you know, like, oh, you're not supposed to, you know, I tell them like, look, the Bible talks about sending to Jeremiah 10:1, talk about the Christmas tree or whatever, and they hit you with that. Well, I do it because I say Yahweh Shah was born on this day. Right. To me, no, it can't be no to you. It is what it is. You know what I mean? The only thing it is to you is what it is as you read it, as you got it. You know what I mean? Anymore?
Neither shall you diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
He's telling you to keep his commandments. Don't add to, don't take away. Don't try to make it better because you can't and it's not going to be better. Don't think that I feel like if we stop doing this, it would save time. It would, no, don't add to, don't take away. Like he giving you a strict regimen. You know what I mean? Not even, he's giving you a direct order. That's literally what a commandment is. A command, a direct order. Do it this way. Do it this way, like when you in your house and you with your children. Right? You tell them, don't stand on the couch. Don't put your feet on the couch. And you like, it's a toe. Don't put nothing. Don't put your feet. You toe your feet. Don't put it on the couch. Oh, don't add to, not a little bit, not none. And saying, and I think that's it. All of these scriptures is powerful, bro. All of these scriptures right here could, when the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, take away some of these churches from these pastors, man, and this truth that we spit, that we bring out, that we was given by the Most High. Once they get into some of these, in front of these people, and they take these churches to get in front of them, like, yo, these one scriptures right here hold a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? They come together like one piece. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some more into it. I want to read y'all something off of Saint Nick, Santa Claus, the so-called Santa Claus that the world called him, right? You know what I'm saying? So that so-called Santa Claus was whitewashed. It was a whitewash. His name was Saint Nicholas, right? And Saint Nicholas he worked inside of Russia in the orphanages. And what he did was he had a strategy of he would bring gifts to the children, right? To have an incentive for them to be good. You know what I mean? Because, you know, being in an orphanage, you can't even fathom, you know, how mental stress they go through in it. You know what I mean? Being away from your parents, having no parents at all. Like, at some point in time, it's stuff weighs on your mind. Even children have minds to think. They think about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They see other kids with their parents, and they think they want what they want. They feel sad that they don't have that. They wonder, damn, even ones that never seen their parents, think, do I look like my pop? Do I look like my mom? Saint Nicholas was the person who used to bring gifts to them to encourage them to do good, and he wouldn't bring gifts to those. He would not give gifts to the children that were not doing good in the orphanage. But the oppressor took this, of course, whitewashed it. Just how he's whitewashed King James, right? This how he's whitewashed Christ. He whitewashed Saint Nicholas, and they called him Santa Claus. Said he came down the chimney, and these are things. It's like, yo, when you a kid, you got a picture up there.
Yeah.
Come. these things that we think of as a kid, we go with the flow as we are kids because we get presents. You know what I'm saying? But as you grow up, you start asking questions and you want to know, like, what is this? Why, who is this guy? Where he come from? Now you know the truth. Ain't no Santa Claus bringing you no clothes or no toys, no nothing. Your mother and your father works hard. You know what I'm saying? And to get out there and to get you anything you want. They sacrifice. And they work hard to get you all of those things. No Edomite brings you anything at all. Don't climb down no chimney. We in the hood, we don't even have chimneys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't giving them no cookies because we ain't got no food to be giving out to anybody. You know what I'm saying? They just told you couldn't have no cookies before you went to bed. Ain't nobody leaving out no cookies overnight anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's gone, a roach took it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's a lot.
Got over time.
Hey, like when I was in the world, when I was a kid, it's a lot.
Uh-huh.
How does Santa Claus get in the apartment building?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gotta get buzzed in.
Right. You gotta get buzzed in. Yeah, he know the codes to everything. Got over time. Going come. So that's where St. Nicholas came on. We gonna get into we got the elves, right? History of the elves. The little Santa's little helpers. What they so called it. So called them Santa's little helpers. So in medieval Iceland, Snorri Sturluson wrote in a wrote a he put together like a Christmas festivals were starting to become big. Basically, what they were saying, like a festival was starting to become big. So he like put together a depiction of like an angel / demon type creature, where though he do good and he also mischievous, right? And this also came from the same place where we talked about earlier, where this also came from the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Iceland, near all that area. They did a lot of the mythical stuff, like the mistletoe. They did the mistletoe, they worshiped the mistletoe, and they also gave this artsy type thing of an elf, Santa's helpers, that came, they was just made up, right? It came from Iceland, right? A group of people that you call what was their name? Near Russia. I had the word right before it. It's Scandinavia. Scandinavia. It's a sub-region of the northern Europe. You know what I'm saying? It had a strong historical and cultural linguistics ties between a lot of things that's associated with Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I guess Christmas was actually, in the other source we did read that Christmas was like a real big thing over there in Celtic Ireland, Canada, Russia. Is always like a big hype over there. And they the ones who depicted elves with Santa. They do good and they do bad to his deed after like an angel, a mix of an angel and a demon, right? They put that in there with that. Reindeers, of course, we know that reindeers are real. They real animals, right? And a lot of that came from a different couple of things. So Thor used to drive the story of Thor. He had a chariot and he had mythical horses or like goats, rams. It was rams. It was mythical rams that flew. in the air, and they took him wherever he wanted to go. Thor. You know what I'm saying? So they took that concept and they pushed it with Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? And the reindeers was really if the reindeers only popped up is because reindeers are in the area. They are populated in the area where the Celtics in that cold environment where near Russia and all that. So I guess they just took that animal that's from that area and depicted it with a reindeer. You know what I'm saying? But as we can see, yo, this stuff is just made up. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what Jeremiah 10:1 say that the customs of the heathens are vain.
Right.
It's vain. They just make it up. They make it up to make you feel good. To that's it. You know what I'm saying? So come.
This store with the Rams.
With the Rams, yeah, he on a chariot flying. Yep. That looked just like Santa Claus.
Yep.
If any of y'all can see that, you know what I mean, just like Santa, same depiction. And of course, as we know, you know what I'm saying, Mary and Joseph having a baby, saying that Christ was born on December 25th. It's like, I think that the whole world knows that now. You know what I'm saying? That, and you go in a Christian church, they'll tell you that. But they'll still tell you, yo, this is what we do. TD Jake's gonna throw that red and green on in front of that tree. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for show. You know what I mean? It's for show. You go into Luke and you read about a mythical baby with Mary. Sly. You know what I'm saying? You go into Luke, you will see that Joseph came from the house of David.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the prophecies that was given to Mary said that Christ will rule the house of his father, David. You know what I'm saying? So if David is Christ's father, and Joseph comes from the house of his father, and Joseph comes from the house of David, right? And in Deuteronomy, it says that the Most High told Moses to identify men by the houses of their fathers. You know what I'm saying? We know that this is not no mythical type anything. This is just something to make people feel good, to make you spend money, to make this oppressor rich. And if we be able to conquer that demon, right, of stop celebrating these holidays, we will cripple the oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He won't have no money to fund his military. You know what I mean? He won't have no money to be able to push these lies out of the media. You know what I'm saying? We give him a lot of money. We gave him money to make a space army. Bro.
Right.
Oh God. Like, go ahead.
I could, like, you know, it's like Christmas is the most pushed holiday out of all. Like, even since a kid, it's been your favorite holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so diabolical.
Because it's fueled off of lust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Selfishness.
Yeah, like kids want things. You got to teach them that they can't have everything. So Christmas is like their favorite day. I get what I want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Want to make it comment, you can't love the Most High and celebrate these people in holidays.
Come with Khan. You can't love the Most High and celebrate these heathen holidays because a contradiction is going to come into your actions. Once you find out this truth, somebody celebrating these heathen holidays and think they're going to celebrate God, when they run into these scriptures, they're going to be stuck. That's why these scriptures don't come up. That's why the pastor doesn't talk about none of these scriptures, because there ain't no way around it. You know what I'm saying? Every time that Jeremiah 10:1, I've talked to deacons, right, at work. When I first came to the truth, I used to bring it up. And I used to talk, and every one of them always say they're going to get back at me.
Right.
And they never get back at me. They never spoke about it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even my mother, she said she was going to get back at me on it. You know what I'm saying? And then she ended up saying, this is just what I want to do. Come on.
If I could one time, back during the months, like General Hyman brought up like a year or two ago. Christmas is when domestic violence spikes, like family violence spikes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an evil holiday.
Come. I posted a video. I put together the top deadliest holidays. Thanksgiving is number one. Christmas is number two. You know what I'm saying? Because you around family members who really don't like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't have no moral basis to follow. Like they don't have no brotherhood.
Right.
They don't have no moral basis. They don't like you. They been ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? They come in there driving in the car talking to their husband or they homeboy like, yo, she say something to me. You know what I'm saying? You mean it's a whole bunch of chill. Be cool. It's a whole bunch of gossiping. Something gonna blow up. You know what I'm saying?
They already coming together in wickedness.
Come.
And with all that, that's the reason they come together to spend time together.
They come to spend time together and leave mad.
Don't even like people you coming together to.
Come. And what you said is another thing that General Mahaiman spoke about. He talks about like this Christmas music, right? This Christmas music, they actually proved that Christmas music, they made it to be hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? To relax you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the oppressor is crafty. You know what I'm saying? Like very crafty. Same how you go into casino. You know what I'm saying? And the colors play a role, right? Light positioning play a role when you go into a casino. You know what I'm saying? Some casinos give you free, free drink, free libation. It all plays a role. You know what I'm saying? Them seats in front of them slot machines, payroll, they ain't hard. You know what I'm saying? Them joints got cushion. Feel me? Get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's crafty. And the Christian church is the same way. It's a systematic system that has been working, and they use it to continue making it work. And some of the most biggest churches, you'll see it. What's crazy is some of the biggest churches, they like positioning, their comfortability, the music at the right timing, all of that is important to the pastor. It's important because he wants you to feel good to spend that money. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that they don't serve drinks in it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that they probably getting ready to do it some type of way. They gonna turn that communion into some type of liquor. You know what I'm saying? To get you real good. Come on, you want to say something?
It make you feel like you're at a concert. Like it make you feel real good.
Yo, you fall asleep.
Favorite rapper, singer, or whatever.
You fall asleep quick in church. I fall asleep quick in there. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Even if my mom used to make me go to sleep early, because she know I'm gonna fall asleep in there. I fall asleep quick in there because them seats is made, they too comfortable. Yeah. They put too much work in that fabric. They get comfortable. But I'm gonna come. That's the end of my class. That's the end of this class. This Monday night class. I'm gonna pass it off to Officer Nadarwan.
Light it up. All right, security announcements. With ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanan. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be slugging. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world.
After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10th in Hebrew and it's pronounced by Ishuppk. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. What we got? What's that? Purim? What's the date on that? Oh, wait, the bottom. No, Purim.
Yeah, Purim. Purim is on February 22nd.
February 22nd is the Feast of Purim. And also, pay your $200, man, for this Passover, man. Commander General Yohana has put together something fabulous for us like he does every year. Kick out that $200, man. Stop holding off till tax time. Pay it now, man. You understand? All right? Remind Akim, not Wathium, to check with social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. We give one courteous salute to the teacher, Men of Israel, Mighty. Mighty Shabbat, Mighty, Rock, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Rakathah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Rakatham.
Yahweh Shah, Saw, face the sisters, sister, Mighty, which means stand. Men of Israel give one courteous salute to the sisters, Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty, Rock, Yahweh Shema, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah, class dismissed. We got nice.